Hi, this is Craig Calvert. Someone asked if I could share the process container, and I can't do that, but what I can do is create this video, which I hope will help you to build one. So I'm going to demonstrate with this image of the Eastern Veil Nebula. Notice I've already extracted and edited the 4 wavelet layers. Now, building process containers is new to me as well, so I'm a bit of a novice. The first thing you'll do is to paste that equation that I gave to you into PixelMath. And then you're going to open up the process container, which is under process, and just put it aside for a second. And then we're going to go to the image, and I'm going to change its identifier to the word original, because that's what it's called in that equation. Now, you don't do this all the time. You're just doing this to set up the process container. Now, open your History Explorer, and at the bottom you'll see a dataset name. Make sure it says original. See this image identifier? Drag it over into the process container. Okay, now open PixelMath back up, and we're going to start messing with this equation. First thing I'm going to do is leave those 0000s alone, and I notice I gave it a name called sharp 0000, and I'm just going to drag that, and that's the first sharpened image it's going to create. Then you're going to go in and edit it, so it's going to be 0001, and the same thing down in its identifier, its ID. Drag that. And again, this time it's going to be 0012. And change the name. It's easier if you go into the editor here to do it. There you go. And then change the name. And drag it. And one more time. This one's 0123. And again, change its name to be consistent. And then drag it over. And now what the Process Explorer has in it, it changed the ID to make sure it says original. And it has the first 4 sharpened images that it's going to create. Now I'm going to create those to make it easier on filling in the rest of the process container, and you'll see that. So let's just take this instance and drag it up over on top of the image, and it's going to create the 4 sharpened images, which we just labeled sharp 0000, etc. You keep them for now, and then we're going to continue to build the process container. So you're going to go back into PixelMath, get rid of that, and now you're going to do your proportions. And you can do this as many times as you want. I'm only going to show you 2. You can do it 10 times if you want, depending on what kind of proportions you want to include in your container. And then, I would advise making a bunch of them. You could throw out the ones that you don't want that it creates, but at least it gives you a good variety. So the first thing I'm going to do is 0.4 times the original. I'm including the original. 0.4 times the sharp 0000. 0.2 times the one that's 0001. And I'm going to put 0.0 times the next 2, which is 12 and 13. And I keep the zeros in there, the 0, because just for consistency. You'll see that I'm going to change those numbers on the other proportions that I make. And then I'm going to name it whatever you want. I'll call this a sharp underscore. And then I use P for point, so like P4, 0.4, P4, P2, P0, and P0. That's just my nomenclature. Okay? That's your first one. Now, process container, drag it in. And do this, 6, 8 times with different proportions. I'm just going to do one more. And this one, I'm going to make it a coarser one. So, 0, 0.1, 0.4, 0.3, and 0.2. I said 0.0, 0.1, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2. That adds up to 1. And then I change the name. P0, P1, P4, P3, and P2. Okay. And again, you do that several times, but I'm only doing it twice for this demo. Then you're done with PixelMath. I will delete these sharpened images that I just created because it's going to recreate them. And when it recreates them, it's going to give them an extension, like 1, and so on. So I don't want them. I'm going to start from the beginning. And what I'm going to do is create an instance, put it on my desktop. And if you want to save that for the next time you open up PixInsight to do this again on another object, so you just save the instance into a location. See, I have several. Give it a name. And when you have another object that you want to sharpen and you open up PixInsight, just go to that location and drag it into your workspace. Now let's drag that instance that we just created onto the image. And there you go. It's going to create 4, 2, 3, 4, the 4 sharpened images and the 2 combinations. Now I'm going to iconize those at 0001, 0012, 0123. Put those out of the way for now, and we'll take a look at these 2 images. Now, one is pretty sharpened, and the other is not very sharpened at all. So this one is the sharpened one, and this one, the one on the right, the one on the left isn't very sharpened at all. And you can just compare them, and compare them with the original. And you can see that's the sharpened one. That's the one that's not sharpened much at all. And in fact, that one's pretty close to the original because it had so little sharpening. So that's why you make a variety of these, because some cases and some objects you might want very little sharpening, and others you need more. Okay, so I hope this helps, and yeah, work with process containers. They're much easier to use once you set them up. And thanks for watching the video.